Okay, so welcome everyone. And so this evening I wanted to do an evening on the theme of broadband of awareness. So it's another little self-contained theme in terms of working with meditation, working with the mind on the mind. There is a handout, so Tim, if you'd like to repost the link in chat so that everyone can see it, who might have arrived subsequent to last time you posted it. So there is a handout, so you don't need to worry about remembering everything. Tonight, I'm going to be focusing on doing some little exercises to explore approaches to meditation. So I'm not teaching any new practices. I'm assuming you're all familiar with the mindfulness of breathing and the metta bhavana practices. We're familiar enough to be comfortable just following through the practice on your own. These evenings are more to help you find ways of working effectively in meditation. So once you're familiar with the practice in outline, then you just the next step is to find ways of working in the practices effectively. And we're going to be doing little exercises and sort of an opportunity to discuss the results in small groups as well, to discuss what we found in our experience. So I wanted to start with an opening exercise. So if you'd like to find a comfortable meditation posture, so we're looking for something that's sort of balanced so that it's upright and alert, but also something you can relax into. And this exercise is going to be looking at visual awareness. So, so don't close your eyes. Rather than closing your eyes, choose something to center your visual attention on. So something that's got a little bit of structure to it, not just the middle of a blank wall, something that you can kind of direct your gaze towards. Okay. So let's all start by doing that. Just choose a visual center. And we're sort of relaxing into this awareness that has this defined center. We're relaxing into this centered awareness. And the first thing I'd like you to just notice is whether the object you're looking at is still or whether it's moving and changing. Could be either. And now, once you've clocked that, I want you to notice whether the visual center, that's the center of your visual awareness, the center of vision, is that still? Is that resting on this point, or is it sort of moving around a bit? So no right or wrong answers here, it's just noticing what's actually happening. So there's what you're looking at and whether that's changing or whether that's still. And then there's the sort of where you're looking, the visual center. Is that actually still or is that moving? Just noticing that. And now as the next step, without changing what is at the center of your visual awareness, without changing the center, I want you to bring your awareness more to the peripheral vision and more to the whole visual field. So you're staying centered in the same point, but the emphasis of your awareness is more on the breadth, the peripheral awareness, the whole visual field, the whole thing. Just spending a bit of time with this broad, open visual awareness. And I'd like you to invite you to notice any movement within the visual field, yeah? Without looking around at anything, you're just noticing anything that's moving or changing within the visual field. And noticing also what it is that's still and stable and settled within the visual field of awareness. So just spending a little time noticing whatever's there. And I've one last suggestion, which is more subtle. We can just give it a go. And that is to notice if this broad visual awareness itself is still, or is this broad visual awareness, the peripheral awareness, the whole field of vision awareness, is that changing or moving? Is the visual awareness itself changing, or is it just that what is seen, the things seen are moving or changing? So just as when we were looking at the center of our visual field, we were seeing if the thing we were looking at was changing, but then we were seeing if the location of the center was changing. Here we're seeing first if what is in the visual field is changing, and then more subtly, is the visual awareness itself changing, or is it just that the content is changing? Okay, and now bringing that little opening exercise gradually to a close.